If there is one thing that we know for sure about Donald Trump and really all of MAGA, it's that they are happy to be hypocritical. There are no values or principles that ground them. They lie through their teeth and they are shameless about it because they don't really care. Not up until the point in which they are held accountable for the things they've said or the actions that they have taken. And that is exactly what happened today when Bernie Sanders made a perfect example of Donald Trump by using his own words against him to show how corrupt and crazy the actions that we have seen from Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency in its first 4 weeks of existence. It was a perfect takedown, calling out Trump and Elon's hypocrisy, and we are going to get into it all. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way, and it really does mean a lot to me. Now let's check out Bernie Sanders.
At a time of massive fraud, waste, and cost overruns at the Department of Defense, this amendment says that no, we should not be giving the Pentagon an additional $150 billion. Mr. Chairman, as you well know, we already spend close to $1 trillion a year on the military. And if some people think it is important to build more ships or develop more air and missile defense systems, there is more than enough money to do that within the existing Pentagon budget. They do not need another $150 billion. But Mr. Chairman, don't take my word for it. I will give you the feelings of some people you might pay more attention to than me. The President of the United States, Donald Trump, vowed to cut the bloated Pentagon budget. He said, quote, "Let's check the military. We're going to find billions, hundreds of billions of dollars in fraud and abuse." End of quote. Well, that's not Bernie Sanders. That is Donald Trump. And I know that on the other side of the aisle, we take what Mr. Trump says very, very seriously. Mike Waltz, President Trump's national security advisor, recently told NBC, quote, "The American people have said enough. Enough with the bloat and the waste and the debt. We do need to go in there and absolutely reform the Pentagon's acquisition process." Last but not least, my good friend Elon Musk, who is currently running the United States government. And what Mr. Musk says is that the Pentagon has little, quote, "has little idea how its annual budget of more than $800 billion is spent." Mr. Musk, let's talk about the waste. I know, I would hope, I was a mayor and we went after waste and there was a lot of it, and there's waste in the federal government. I think no one denies that. But if you're going to talk about waste in the federal government, don't just go after what goes on in programs that impact working people. Take a hard look at what the military-industrial complex is doing. Fiscal year 2022, Navy auditors found $4.4 billion in untracked inventory. Well, they simply lost $4 billion. Let's talk about fraud. In recent years, major defense contractors have paid many billions of dollars in fines or related settlements for fraud or misconduct. In October, Raytheon was fined $950 million for inflating bills, lying about costs, and paying bribes to secure foreign business. In June, Lockheed Martin was fined $70 million for overcharging the Navy for aircraft parts. Let's talk about cost overruns. No, I trust that you're sincere. We want a cost-effective government. I trust nobody here wants to see waste. But how can you talk about spending another $150 billion when you got the largest agency in the country full of waste and fraud? Cost overruns. The F-35, the most expensive weapon system in history, has run up hundreds of billions of dollars in cost overruns, et cetera, et cetera. So, my friends, and I say this very sincerely because I trust that all of us want to deal with waste and fraud and a bloated bureaucracy. But if you're going to do that, the first area you look at is a bloated defense budget and the idea of adding 150 billion more makes 0 sense to me. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
No one is saying that we should not go after waste in the government. That is not what is being said. And it is a preposterous position that Republicans are taking to say that is what Democrats believe. Democrats have been working to eliminate the real and clear waste from our government for a long time. It was Bill Clinton who is shrinking the size of the government and balancing the budget. Barack Obama introduced executive orders and passed legislation to make sure we were not over-regulated in small businesses. This has been something Democrats have done for a while. Donald Trump taking a meat axe to all of the programs that hold Elon Musk's corrupt businesses accountable is not trimming the fat in government. It is making it dysfunctional so he can point to government and say, it doesn't work, give me all the power. That is the ultimate goal here for Donald Trump, to say that government causes chaos and it doesn't work for you, but I will, which of course we know is a lie. And it's even more of a lie because DOGE has already done such a terrible job. These are not the geniuses and the super brains that they claim to be. These people are incompetent, they're unqualified, and they don't understand government. And it's not just that they're doing a bad job, but they're putting us in danger with their failures. And all of this was perfectly summed up. A clip right here from Rachel Maddow.
You might have seen Elon Musk making a speech at a big international conference this week in which he wore a T-shirt that said tech support. It's not a flattering look, but he thought it was hilarious. He tried to say this T-shirt was a very funny joke, that he's White House tech support. You know, for our generation of Howard Phillipses, our generation of the let's kill the U.S. government and we don't care if it's legal or not. Our guys have claimed the right to do what they're doing, not just because of their wild-eyed zeal against the U.S. government and the U.S. system of governing. They've claimed the right to do this. They've sort of claimed that their legitimacy comes from their tech savvy, because they're so good with computers. So we're all supposed to, get out of their way, or we're supposed to be intimidated or at least confused by what exactly they're doing, because, wow, it's such a high level, right? It's so high tech. They're so tech savvy, so competent, so good at what they're doing. How could we mere mortals possibly understand? 404 Media today reported that on the website for DOGE, I don't know, DOGE, I don't know, whatever we're supposed to call it, on their own website that Elon Musk's agency-destroying group has set up for themselves. It appears that random members of the public have been able to upload joke categories and database entries onto that website that show up as if they are official doge.gov data. And people can add random stuff to this website, not because there's like a post your public comment here section, but because apparently when DOGE designed this website for itself, they didn't know how, or they forgot to make the website secure so other people couldn't post random stuff on it. 404 Media reporting today that people were posting things like, quote, these experts left their database open, ruh-roh, and quote, this is a joke of a .gov site. Remember, these are our high-tech overlords. At the Huffington Post today, they've got comment from an unnamed employee of the Defense Intelligence Agency pointing out that among the data that Elon Musk's little group has posted online on their apparently totally insecure, half-baked website is classified information about the National Reconnaissance Office, which is the federal agency that designs, builds, and maintains U.S. intelligence satellites. Quote, DOGE just posted secret, no foreign, meaning nobody who's not a U.S. national is supposed to see it, no foreign info on their website. Currently, people are scrambling to check if their info has been accessed. This comes on the heels of Elon Musk telling reporters in the Oval Office that we should all be shocked, the American people should be shocked by the scandalous discovery he and his high-tech team made while apparently pawing through Social Security records and data in that part of the government's guts. Because he's allowed to do that, I guess. He said the scandal that he and his team had uncovered in Social Security data is that there are people in the Social Security database who are listed as being 150 years old. And we don't know exactly what Mr. Musk was talking about because he's seeing stuff that I think he's not allowed to see, and neither are we. But today, people started gingerly asking if perhaps Mr. Musk just didn't know that in an older version of the programming language that is used by the Social Security Administration, when you didn't have a date to enter in a particular field, it would code it as 150 years ago. It would code it as 1875. The year 1875 is essentially an error message to let you know that there isn't a real date in that record, and so you should treat that as an error and find out what went wrong. Does he know that, or does he really think those are records for 150-year-old people? Does he know what he's looking at when he's pawing through your Social Security records? Remember, it's their technical prowess and know-how that's supposed to impress us and make us think this is somehow different than when a far-right, power-mad, doomed president tried to do this exact same thing in 1973.
I hate this idea that if someone has had a little bit of success in business or in tech, it means that they're a genius, right? I think LeBron James is a basketball genius. I don't want to put him in charge of Social Security, and I don't think LeBron James would be willing to do that either, right? I don't think he would say, do you know what? I really have a control of everything that goes on this court. Maybe I should also be in charge of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. I don't think LeBron would do that. I don't think any genius musician prodigy Yo-Yo Ma is not going to say like, oh, I should be in charge of the Treasury now because I'm incredibly gifted as a musician. So this idea that like business success translates directly to government is just not true. And these guys don't understand what they're doing. It's why they have broken so much already, which is kind of the point, is to break. And that's what we have to be pointing out. Again, not that we are against cutting waste, but that's not what Elon is even doing. And the waste that he's cutting, in his mind, is your Medicare and Social Security. That's what Elon thinks is waste. Big tax cut for him? He doesn't think that's waste. He thinks that's what should happen. And we have to call that out, and we're certainly going to on this show every single day. And if you want to support that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button. You can leave a like on this video, and if you're stuck around at the end, you can drop a blue heart in the comments. And until next time, I'll see you soon.